Hello and welcome to Neil's Spanish Fly Box. I hope you're all well, getting some fishing in if you can. Today we're going to tie a dry fly, and it is an emerger, an olive emerger, and I'll be tying with Gutermann silk number 900. So let's get on to the tying. In the vise I have a size 16 round bend or curved hook, and I'll be tying with 12/0 yellow thread. Right, I'm starting this just a little bit behind the eye because I'm going to tie in wings and a sighter a little bit later on. Trim up the excess. Right, now for the shuck I'm going to use another silk, and this is Gutermann 300. So I'll cut off a strip of that for the shuck. I'm going to just try and flatten it out a little bit so that it's not too bulky along the hook, and tie that in. Put it to length and wind down the shank around the bend. Like so. Just tighten this hook, that's better. Right, and for the body, as I said, I'm going to be using Gutermann silk, it's an olive silk number 900. Now I've cut off a length, and I'm going to use just one strand. It comes in 3 strands, and I'm going to use just one. So that's ready to go, and I'm also going to put in a rib of yellow thread. So I'll just snip a piece off of that. I'll tie that in first. And then the length of 900. And bind those down. And trim off the excess. Tidy up. And wind on the olive silk. You don't want this too thick, so it's just one strand. Try not to overlap it. Let's get these out of the way. Don't want it too thick, as I said, but as you get closer to the thorax, you can thicken it up just a little, as it's the start of the body. And tie off the silk. And trim it up. I'm just going to turn the hook in the vise and wind on the rib. Quite close turns for the rib. Up to the thorax area, and tie off the rib. And trim up the excess. Right, now I'm going to trim up the shuck, and the shuck you want about the length of the body of the fly. Something like that. Right, now for the thorax, I've cut off some strips of 900 and made it into a dubbin, and I've added some UV hare's ear just to give it a little bit of flash, a little bit of sparkle, just something a little bit different. You won't need a lot, just thin that out a little bit. Like so. I'll take off this excess. Right, now for the wing, I've taken 3 CDC feathers. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to take out the points. So I'm going to pull back. Let me just get those level. Going to pull back these excess long fibers, which will create the wing, like so, and take out the points. And pull back those longer fibers to create the wing. I'm going to tie those in at the front. Like so, and trim up the excess. Just pull back those fibers and tidy up. Right, now for the sighter, I'm going to use some red floss, and this is Glow Bright number 4. I can find the end. There we go. So I'll pull a length of that off and trim it up, and I'm going to double that over. Like so. Place that underneath the thread on top and tie it down, and then pull up the rest of the floss and tie that down too. Creating the head at the same time. And I'm going to tie that off by just adding a little glue onto the thread. And tying off the fly. And trimming up the excess. Right, I'm going to trim the sighter to whatever length you fancy, something of that nature. Just turn the hook around into the vise. Now the wings, just a little bit longer than the length of the body of the fly. So something like that. And as far as the shuck is concerned, I'm just going to brush that out a little to make that just a little bit wider. And there you have the finished fly. Just turn it around for you. Fairly simple tying. Now that's a size 16. If you wanted to tie it in a size 18, it would look something like that. And if you like it on a straighter hook, then it's going to look something like that. So there you go, a great emerger for this time of the year. I'm talking about March, April, May, depending upon the weather and where it's suitable for dry fly wherever you are. I hope you enjoyed the tying, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Give it a thumbs up, do subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and thanks for viewing. Bye.